All right, we've been able to establish a proper contact with our guest. We have joining us from Uyo, the Akwa Ibom state capital, Senator Bassey, who is a Young Progressive Party YPP governorship candidate in Akwa Ibom state. Are you there now?
I'm here now. Thank you so much for having me here.
Very well. Okay. Now, these allegations are quite heavy. What do we make of them?
Well, I think let me thank you for having me here. I've listened to the text of the press conference by our state chairman of the party, and I believe that the party's position, which is equally binding on me, is based on the reports from our various agents in the last general elections. But be that as it may, I can give you an instance because in my local government, materials were not released until about after 12 noon or to 1, which actually impeded and hampered on the turnout of voters because most of them felt they were disenfranchised and that could not vote. But be that as it may, we as a party, after notifying the public about these exceptions, have actually made our own counter arrangements to face the next governorship elections in the state. And we are very confident that most of these loopholes, based on the briefing that we have given to our agents and also our House of Assembly candidates and our various stakeholders, will be checkmated to ensure that the vote of our people will definitely count and that the process leading to the emergence of the next governor of Akwa Ibom State will be credible and will be equally be transparent and acceptable. So I think we count on INEC's work back, and I mean, because these are some of the feedback mechanism that we are bringing to bear in the electoral process, that once these issues come up, I think INEC should not see that as an accusation. Instead, they should see it as a complaint from a stakeholder, which is the party in this instance, so that they could work on those loopholes so that the confidence will be restored and that the process will be more credible and transparent.
Well, Senator Albert, you know what? We'll talk about the elections and fears as well much later. But for now, I want to talk about you. Yes, you are quite popular with the people on ground. Speaking of economist turned accountant turned politician, and of course we've seen you as Commissioner of Finance in Akwa Ibom State before you went to the Red Chambers, which you've actually served 2 terms. But some would say that your ongoing litigation and even the bill and a whole lot with regards to issues that you've had with the court, some would say that has probably scared some of the people who might want to trust you and vote for you. I want to get your view concerning this opinion of some people in Akwa Ibom State with regards to your chances, really.
Our chances are very bright, and yes, as
listening to you, go ahead.
Our chances are very, very, very bright. And as regards the court issues, yes, I will say it would be sub judice for me to talk about a matter that is before the court of competent jurisdiction. And of course, you are aware that Section 182 of our Constitution sub 2 also says that once a valid appeal is entered, that such appeal must be heard. And we've also had several Supreme Court authorities that says that a conviction of a trial court cannot be used to disqualify a candidate until his appeal is exhaustively completed. And so I believe that we are a strong party and our people are out to vote for YPP. Our chances in this election is extremely very, very bright because we've done some extensive work. We've carried out our message of hope and renewed hope to the Akwa Ibom people and YPP in Akwa Ibom, despite the fact that it's a party less than 8 months in Akwa Ibom has become the consciousness and the platform for the liberation of Akwa Ibom people. So I can assure you that our chances in this election is extremely very bright, and there is no cause for concern whatsoever. we are on course, and we are on course, and that's the way. That's all I can say for now until Saturday, when the Akwa Ibom people will speak very boldly and very loudly that they are for YPP and YPP is for Akwa Ibom.
YPP for Akwa Ibom for
Right.
YPP, as you say. You sound very confident of your chances on Saturday. Now let's hope you do have luck smiling on you. Insecurity, environmental degradation, and affordable housing are three major matters that the people of your state are looking up to you to resolve for them. Do you have any plan around these issues?
Yes, of course. As regards the issue, of insecurity, yes, we will as regards the issue of insecurity, I can assure you that where there is so much poverty in the land and there's so much hunger in the land, these are a sine qua non for insecurity. But I can assure you that our government has a program of fighting hunger and then poverty in Akwa Ibom. And we will also constructively engage the youths of Akwa Ibom positively. And also to the use of technology, we intend to cope, because the greatest form of checkmating insecurity in a system is to even stop it from happening. And the only way you can stop it from happening is to have an efficient and effective intelligence gathering mechanism. And we intend to deploy technology in this regard. Of course, you know that the world has become a global village. Since this is a security matter, we want to wait until we come into office and then deploy the necessary infrastructure to curb insecurity. On the issue of environmental degradation, as a government and as a policy, we believe that our environment is our greatest assets. And then, of course, we also believe that what needs to be done is to ensure that those factors that leads to environmental degradation is curbed to its barest minimum, so that the environment can be safe. It can equally be conducive for our people. And of course, we have a lot of strategy in terms of addressing most of the environmental issues we have in our state. And this form part of our 5-point agenda, 5-point pillars that we intend to deploy based on our projected timelines to ensure that our environment is actually very conducive, environmental degradation is curbed, and that our people will take advantage of the emerging scenario to foster unity, foster love, foster business opportunities, and also bring to bear their God-given potentials for the use and the impact of the state.
Right. And Senator Albert, we have to look at the fact that you have alluded also that YPP is a relatively new party when you look at Akwa Ibom politics. But you know what? The so-called big parties like the People's Democratic Party, they have their internal wranglings. The APC is not even sure if it has a candidate going into the polls on Saturday, going by, you know, the litigations in court and all of that. So some would say this gives an opportunity to, you know, some maybe not so big parties with regards to politics in Akwa Ibom State. But the just concluded presidential and National Assembly elections, you must agree with me that the YPP didn't have a great showing. You were only able to snag one senatorial seat, speaking about Ifeanyi Uba in Anambra State. So what gives you the confidence that the people will reckon with your party and decide that you are the best option?
Well, I think for me, considering the outing of our party, the performance of our party in the last general elections, take for example my federal constituency. My federal constituency has 2 local governments. In my local government, we defeated all the big parties by almost about 3,000-4,000 margins in my own local governments. But since it's a 2 local government federal constituency, the result of the local was actually manipulated by the PDP to ensure that. But we believe that several the fallout on the council was of over 20 units, amounting to about about 10,000, over 10,000 votes. It cannot be measurable to the margin of loss that we encountered, which was about 600 votes. So I believe that my own federal constituency will be taken back at the tribunal, because the law is very clear on that where the council votes, where the margin of victory is less than the volume of the council votes, there should be a run. But I think the PDP insisted that there should not be a run in that regard. So I'm very confident that we had a good showing, and that the outcome of the National Assembly elections, which has to do with preferences of candidates, will not have anything to affect the performance of our party in the governorship elections. I can assure you that right now in Nigeria, people are not voting for parties because of candidates, but they are voting for candidates because of the party, because of the candidate they present. And I can tell you that YPP has a formidable structure in Akwa Ibom in less than 8 months, compared to parties that have existed in Akwa Ibom for the past 23 years. And it is clear that it is the people that makes up the party. It's not the party that makes up the people. The good showing of YPP in the last 8 months is a clear testimony that our people has come to the realization of the conscious sense that, listen, this is the time that they must take their destiny in their hands. And they've chosen to vote for YPP. The only contentions to PDP in Akwa Ibom State today is the YPP. Have your ears on the ground, and I'm sure you'll be satisfied that you did. Come Saturday, 18th of March, I can assure you, YPP will carry the day.
Very enthralling is your confidence in YPP and indeed your chances on Saturday, I must say. Okay, now, the state has since been declared a Christian state, and an opinion that may affect your chances. What are you doing to ensure that people of other religions in your state also vote for you?
I am a Christian, a bona fide Christian for that matter. And Akwa Ibom is 100% Christian state. And we are the only party of all the parties in Akwa Ibom that have gone through the local government twice in the course of this campaign. So I'm very confident that the church will stand by YPP because they believe in the capacity of its governorship candidate. I grew up in Akwa Ibom. I schooled here. I worked here, and I served here as Commissioner of Finance, and I'm serving here as a two-term senator. We understand the issues, the problems, and the questions of Akwa Ibom, and we have a local solution to most of this problem, and now people have bought into it. We are all now on the same platform. We are ready to vote and defend our votes. We are also ready to ensure that we are not cheated out of the process, and this is what has given us the confidence that YPP is a force to be reckoned with in Akwa Ibom State politics of today. If you have your ears on the ground, the babies, the children, the women, the youths are all for YPP because they believe that these governorship candidates, my humble self, I'm credible, I have antecedents, I have a good record of performance in my last public offices, even in my current position as the senator and chairman National Assembly Caucus and chairman Petroleum Upstream. They believe I have the prerequisite capacity to lead them out of the doldrum. And by the special grace of God, I've assured them that the better days lies ahead of our state.
A great place for us to drop the anchor tonight, and so we wish you all the best in the forthcoming elections. Senator Bassey Albert, or should I say Oba? Well, we wish you all the best on Saturday. And thank you for joining us tonight on the program.